Netflix's latest true crime sensation, The Perfect Neighbor, has gripped audiences across the globe, not with jump scares or supernatural horrors, but with a chilling story that could happen anywhere. Earning a rare 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, the hour-and-a-half documentary dives into a real-life tragedy that exposes the dark undercurrents of racism, entitlement, and systemic failure within American communities. Following Netflix's recent success with Unknown Caller, The High School Catfish, this new release takes a more grounded yet horrifying approach, examining how a petty neighborhood dispute spiraled into a fatal shooting that shook the nation. A real-life horror more disturbing than fiction. The Perfect Neighbor unravels the story of Susan Lawrence, a middle-aged woman whose constant complaints about neighborhood children led to a deadly confrontation. What began as a seemingly harmless feud, children playing near her home, turned into years of obsessive calls to the police, false claims of harassment, and escalating hostility. Told through authentic police body cam and surveillance footage, the documentary captures the tension as it builds to the shocking night of June 2nd, 2023. When A.J. Owens, a mother of four, confronted Lawrence about her treatment of the neighborhood kids, the situation turned fatal. Lawrence fired her gun through a closed door, killing Owens instantly. Lawrence initially claimed self-defense under Florida's Stand Your Ground law, but the investigation proved there was no immediate threat to her life. The verdict was clear. Her actions were unjustifiable. She was sentenced to 25 years in prison, leaving Owens' family and community devastated. A mirror to modern America's deepest flaws. What makes The Perfect Neighbor so terrifying isn't just the crime itself, it's the ordinary setting and the disturbing normalcy of the perpetrator. Lawrence wasn't a career criminal or serial killer, but an everyday person consumed by paranoia and prejudice. The film sheds light on how unchecked entitlement and racial bias can escalate into violence. Evidence revealed that Lawrence had repeatedly hurled racial slurs at the neighborhood's black children, referring to them as slaves. Yet law enforcement's early hesitation to acknowledge racism as a driving factor highlighted the systemic inequities at play. Through interviews, court footage, and recorded police responses, the documentary critiques how Stand Your Ground laws can be twisted to excuse acts of aggression. Director Geeta Ganber, whose personal connection to Owens fueled the project, emphasizes how these laws often protect the aggressor rather than the victim, especially when racial bias is involved. A documentary that forces accountability. Unlike many true crime productions that risk glorifying their subjects, The Perfect Neighbor refuses to humanize its killer. Instead, it focuses on A.J. Owens, her children, and the community's grief and outrage. The film avoids sensationalism, using raw, unfiltered footage to speak for itself. By letting viewers see the unedited reality, police dismissals, biased assumptions, and Lawrence's disturbing lack of remorse, the documentary builds an atmosphere of dread that no fictional horror could match. It's a story of fear, denial, and moral collapse, framed within the familiar backdrop of suburban life. The most haunting crime story on Netflix. The Perfect Neighbor does more than recount a murder. It forces a reckoning with how modern society handles prejudice and accountability. It's a wake-up call about the fragility of justice when privilege, fear, and firearms intertwine. As the documentary's perfect Rotten Tomatoes score suggests, critics and viewers alike are responding not only to its storytelling, but to its emotional urgency and social relevance. It's an unflinching reminder that true horror isn't confined to haunted houses or dark forests. Sometimes, it lives right next door. In the end, The Perfect Neighbor isn't just one of Netflix's most powerful true crime releases. It's a reflection of how quickly ordinary fear can evolve into irreversible tragedy.